We're about to hit the halfway point of the season, our first season back in Europe, and it is going absolutely terribly. We are 7 points away from relegation, 16 points away from the Champions League, so without fail, in the Premier League, we will not do as well as we did last year. However, we are still in the FA Cup. Yes, it's the third round, but we're still in it. And we're also just about still in the Europa League as well. 2 routes to get European football. In this episode, we're going to go through the January transfer window. We have to make some changes. Tactically, personnel, something has got to give in the Europa League, in the FA Cup. Huge games. Let's get in to the video. Yes, lads, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, as you can see, I've got the set sorted a little bit. We're getting there. I've got a few little touches still to do, but very happy with that. I feel like I can just record again. So here we are. So as you can see, as I mentioned, as we know, it's not going great. In the Premier League, we are struggling, and it has really been a difficult time for us. It's not been like too bad. There's been games where we should have won. We've dropped points last minute, but ultimately, I think we're a mid-table team, and that's as good as we will be. That is as good as we will get this season. We might be able to scrape a Conference League if we had a really good run together, but ultimately, forget looking upwards. I've got to look behind me. 7 points between us and Fulham, and Everton as well. Goal difference, we're better, but not Fulham. So we do not want to get dragged into a relegation dogfight. That's the last thing that we want. So in terms of this episode, then, as I mentioned in the intro, it is the January transfer window. Very excited for this. We're going to play the game against Portsmouth, the game against Fenerbahce, the game against Shakhtar. And if we make signings on deadline day, which I'm not actually sure if we will, we might play this Arsenal game. We'll have to see. But it's the cup competitions. They're the things that we're really looking at. So we're going to play those 3 games, and obviously for the Europa League phase, I mean, it is just going to come down to the wire, I fear. We've got 2 games left, and we are 1 point behind it's not even the automatic qualification. We're 1 point behind getting knocked out, which is mental. But Fenerbahce and Shakhtar, both all in the mixer as well. It's going to be very difficult in that regard. I'm very jealous of all these teams up here that have already qualified. But yeah, so that is that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of wheeler dealing, whatever you want to call it. Is it wheeler dealing? I feel like it's wheeler dealing. We're going to do some wheeling, it doesn't matter. Regardless, we're going to make some signings, and a few players are going to leave as well. Coming off back-to-back defeats, no wins since that win against Lugano. So we've got this game against West Ham, Spurs, United, and Burnley, and I will come back for you at the Portsmouth game, hoping to see some green circles. It's been a while since I've seen some consistent green circles, so let's see how we get on, and I'll see you back for this game against Portsmouth. All right, lads, we are back for the Portsmouth game, and as you can see, it's been a bit hit and miss. You know, if you looked at those 4 games, West Ham, Burnley, United, and Spurs, considering that West Ham and Burnley are near the relegation zones, you'd think, of course, if we're going to get 2 wins out of 4, it will be against those relegated teams. But it wasn't the case at all. We actually beat the better teams and lost to the worst team, which just feels so typical of this season. The West Ham game, very even game, should arguably have finished a draw, maybe even a win for us. I actually tried to tweak the tactics a little bit in this game. It didn't really work how I wanted to. I will get to the tactics in a second and show you what we are rocking with. And then following that, a 2-0 win against Spurs, and it just felt as though I got the tactics spot on. James Maddison scoring against his former club. Slightly, I mean, it's very even on the stats, but we did sort of dominate the game there, which I'm very happy with. And then the Manchester United game was a bit of a crazy one. So we actually had Guerrero get sent off in the 26th minute. Now, this man, what's his aggression stat? 16. Yeah, this guy loves a big tackle, but I feel as though for the future, he is who I want in my defensive midfield. However, we then went 1-0 up in the 45th minute. And at this point here, I was thinking, okay, a draw would be a great result. But then in the second half, we just turned into absolute machines. Bravo with the brace, and then Harvey Barnes getting a 95th minute 4-1. 4-1, and that's where you can see the tactics have been tweaked a little bit slight there. So from that, obviously you're thinking Burnley, confidence back up. Maybe we will qualify for the Champions League. Maybe we're going to win every game for the rest of the season. And then this happens. And honestly, did they deserve to win the game? No. But ultimately, at the same time, the scoreline is the scoreline, so we have to just sit with it. Wait, hold on a second. Bro, I was going to say, if Billy Gilmore's a manager, I've been in this save too long. So let me show you the tactics very quickly as we are talking about them. So what we're playing a little bit different from before. We've just gone a little bit more attacking because I've always felt this team doesn't score enough goals. For a few seasons now, it's been the case. But ultimately, the wing-backs stay the same, centre-backs stay the same, and then we're going to have one defensive midfielder. And the whole point is, so in possession, we look like this, and then out of possession, everyone does come back a bit more solid. But Archie Gray or Guerrero, whoever plays there, just sits in that position there, doesn't move. Mateus Nunes, far more suited, in my opinion, to a centre midfield up and down the pitch role. So very happy with him in there. And I feel as though we'll get his best performances. Advanced playmaker and then a pressing centre midfielder when we do switch. And then obviously going forward, the only change really is the wingers come back a little bit further than they did before. We have an outlet centre forward rather than just a centre forward. I think Donyell Marlon, very good up top. Lump it up to him. We'll try and hit him on the counter. And yeah. And then the only real notable thing actually is James Maddison or any attacking midfielder who sits in the shadow striker role just to give that Donyell Marlon. The hope is that Marlon is always left or right, which then allows Maddison or whoever to sneak inside and score more goals. And it is working, but it's a work in progress. It is a work in progress. So we're going to have to just see how that does go. Nothing really changed here. A little bit more counter-attacking, a higher tempo as we always play. So yeah. I would say that it needs a bit of time, but I'm liking how this tactic looks. So let me show you now recruitment because we have seen some movement. Now, I'm obviously not going to show you every single one of these young players, but effectively, I am trying to prepare us for the future. A lot of regens coming in, new gens, whatever you want to call them, and they are going to be going out on loan. Almost every single one of them, Chelsea-esque transfer policy. However, what I will show you is the notable ones, as I say. So we've got this man here, Tichan from Bangkok FC, the Thai 18-year-old, came in for 875k, and I just feel as though this man has a big future for us. So he will be going out on loan. The other notable one is this man here, Eduardo Poblete. And I just think, what a name that is. He's probably good enough to feature in the squad, but I just feel as though let's send him out on loan. Let him go to the championship, and then next season, Harvey Barnes, like-for-like swap, he can just come in. So very happy with him there. Other than that, when I say notable ones, we paid 500k here for Gomez. He's gone to Hanover. Should be a decent centre-back in the future, 6'4". So no one really too crazy's come in. They're all just decent signings, decent players coming in. And I think it's just going to give us what we need in the future in terms of our youth development and trying to sort of, just make our club, we don't have good youth facilities. The youth intake was poor. So this hopefully is almost like me manually doing the youth intake. But I do want to look at getting some more English players in just because I think it helps with the realism. But we've made a load of young players for signings, and a lot of them have already gone out on loan. Now, in terms of any sort of first team players that have gone out on loan, why can't I see him? There he is. Kevin Angulo. Now, this might seem a bit puzzling to some people, but there is another striker coming in that's a little bit more experienced. Kevin Angulo, really, really like him. A future at this club, 100%, 6'2", so much to like, but ultimately gone out on loan to Bournemouth, and I'm hoping he'll get a bit more first-team football, and we can then get someone a bit more experienced in, because as much as I like him, he's not scoring enough goals in my opinion. So that is Kevin Angulo. So, oh, hold on a second here. Have I missed Herrera? I have missed Herrera. Herrera came in 6'4" centre-back for £1 million as well in terms of an incoming already out on loan. That's why I've missed him. So that is where we are right now. We've got some first team signings actually in motion. I was hoping to have them for this game, but we will definitely have them for the Europa League. So this game against Portsmouth now, let's get into the game. Here we go then. Gillingham up against Portsmouth, third round of the FA Cup. We are as full strength as we can possibly be. We simply can't afford it. We cannot afford to have a slip up. Europe is on the line. It's not going to come from the league. It's got to come from the Europa League or the FA Cup. It is as simple as that. So hopefully this is the start of what will go down in Gillingham's history as one of the best cup runs ever. Never won the FA Cup. We need to change that. Not just because for Gillingham's sake, but also because we need European football. I do not want to regress. We need to stay at least in the Europa League. Or, of course, if we win the Europa League, in the Champions League. Here is Vidigal then. 2 minutes in. It's trying to set the precedent here. Esquivel. Guerrera, Maddison shoots off the post in. James Maddison makes it 1-0. Exactly what I was talking about, being the second striker. Really, really, really good from James Maddison there. And this is what I want to see from whoever we have, because there might be another centre attacking midfielder coming in. But Guerrera's ball in, Maddison in a more advanced position. Turn, shot, off the post and in. Great start to the game. 1-0. Couldn't ask for more in this FA Cup run to start with. Portsmouth turn to come forward. Esquivel wins it though. And yeah, this is what it was like in the Championship. The good old days, when we were just dominating teams. Vidigal tackled by Segasic, but Esquivel picks it up. Ball in is decent. Angelo at the back post. Marlon, and it's in. It's 2-0, 5 minutes in, and that should probably do it. Can't imagine Portsmouth going to come back too strong, but we've gone full strength for this. I'm taking the FA Cup unbelievably seriously, and the lads are putting in a performance out there. Angelo, is it like a volley? Yeah, he sort of volleys it into the path of Marlon. And I mean, it looks an amazing goal. Whether Angelo meant it or not, I don't actually know. But 2-0 and cruising 6 minutes in. Esquivel over to Cresswell. Back to Esquivel, who is linked with a move away to Saudi. And if they did come in, I would have a decision to make. But a very solid performance for her. But that made no sense. Performer for us. Vidigal through on goal. Vidigal scores. Words are leaving me. Words are letting me down at the final moment, but Vidigal is not doing that. And it is 3-0, 15 minutes in. And this man has got a big future for us. Drives inside, too difficult to defend against, comes in, and just that sort of low shot, it does take a deflection, but you put the ball in the mixer like that, it always will be. It might even go down as an own goal, but Vidigal makes it 3-0, and yeah. I mean, this is what I wanted. I wanted a game like this. You know, we've had the good results against United, the good results against Spurs. This was so important for me to get back into sort of this like stride of trying to keep winning. The Burnley game was such a disappointing loss. Hold on a second here, and he's onside. Max Lyons, a regen, has just made it 3-1. And maybe this isn't as done as I think it is. Cups goes forward. We can't get the second ball. And then we're absolutely carved open. And it's a good finish to him, to be fair. Rate the effort there. I'm going to have a little look at him. Hey, lads, I tell you what. This guy looks absolutely unbelievable. After this game, let's have a serious look at this guy. Max Lyons. Great stats. Only 19 years old. Could be one we look at, you know. I tell you what, he's a bit of a... Do you remember Jermaine Beckford for Leeds when he scored against Manchester United and everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's insane. Max Lyons, has he just done that himself? Maddison over the free kick then. Wouldn't put it past him to shoot. He does shoot. It hits the post. Great effort from James Maddison to start the second half. And it has been quiet since the goals, but we're certainly still on top. The stats say it, and that chance there, massive. As we will go again here is Guerrera. Into Cups. Finds Daniel. Come on, Daniel. Bit of quality. A lot of quality. Oh, not quite. Here's Guerrera. Inside to Nunez. Maddison. Nunez. Oh. And it's exactly how the first half was. The second half is continuing. Look at the stats. Dominating. Got to make sure, though, we don't do something stupid in this one. Well, that should be that. And it is an FA Cup third round win. Exactly what we needed from this game. Portsmouth, to their credit, they gave it a good go, but ultimately we dominated the stats, we dominated the game, and it should have been our win, and it was. So we go into the hat for the next round, and genuinely, I really hope we don't have one of the big teams. I really, really do. It's at that point for us now. We need to get far in this competition. Right, there we go then. So, this game against Chelsea, I will play that off camera and, of course, come back for this huge game against Fenerbahce. Hopefully, with some new signings there for us. But yeah, massive game against Fenerbahce coming, and I will see you back for that. All right, guys, we are back, and we have made a huge signing for us. Joshua Zirkzee joins as a free transfer. This was who I was referring to in regards to Kevin Angulo. I like him a lot. I just want someone that's got that bit more experience in the squad. And I just feel as though Joshua Zirkzee, he'd been out of, not with a club for a few months now, and I feel as though he'll be hungry to get back into football. So Joshua Zirkzee, 20 caps for Netherlands, 31 to 40 million. It's a bit of a no-brainer. A bit of a no-brainer. We've also signed someone else for £7 million, a player that's been on my radar for a very long time. Alexei Batrakov. And this guy looks to be the real deal. 24 years of age. And I feel as though this guy's ceiling is going to be good. 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 16 passing. You know, when we mentioned that we want a second striker, shadow striker, this is exactly the sort of player I was after. 16 flair, 16 vision. He should be absolutely perfect. As I say, I've been on this guy for so long. So I'm very, very happy to get the job done and get him in. So they are our two signings. In terms of who else has gone out, Ivan Xiao has gone on loan to Bolton. Not a huge loss there. We've got Goodman as well. Other than that, it's just the young lads that are going out on loan. So that is where we are at the moment. Now, bit of an issue. So obviously, we're in the Europa League. And unfortunately, that then means that because we're still in the current league phase, our new signings are not able to feature. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to play this game against Fenerbahce, get the job done, and then hopefully once we do the Shakhtar game, get these lads in because we very much need them. Look at the bench. We are struggling right now, but before we do get into this game against Fenerbahce, let me just very quickly show you how it looks for us in terms of our result here. And it is more green circles, which is what we're here for. We had a 3-0 win against Chelsea. Strange, isn't it? You know, we're the better team on paper, and we lose, and we're the worst team on paper technically, and we win 3-0. Very, very difficult to get my head around. In terms of the Premier League, let me just quickly show you where we are in the table. A little bit of an update for you. We're exactly where I said we would be. We are around now the mid-table. We just need to get a few more wins under the belt. We've pretty much guaranteed we're not getting relegated, which at one point, I have to say, I was worried. Now, in terms of European football, we're on 25 points. I'm just having a quick look here. So it'll be 7th place. So we're only 12 points off. So it looks unlikely. We're 4 wins behind Wolves. I doubt it, but ultimately it's improvement there, exactly what we needed. So let's get in to this game against, not Shakhtar, Fenerbahce. All right then, away at Fenerbahce, it doesn't get more difficult than this. The Turkish team's very, very solid in Europe. This is how we line up. But it is actually full strength. I was going to say basically full strength. It is full strength. We're just lacking on the bench. It is as simple as this. We have to win these games. We have to win these games. If we lose this game, then it is completely out of our hands in terms of that last game against Shakhtar to gain qualification. Remember, not only do we want a trophy, but we want Champions League. That's what we want. This is the whole point. League 2 to Champions League. And this season, this is our only way of achieving it. So let's get into this one. Massive, massive game. Esquivel will win the ball there. No chances in the first 15 to 20 minutes. Very, very cagey game here. Esquivel into Vidigal. Now, Fenerbahce don't really have a chance of not qualifying. I would say they're a decent points ahead as we're playing some nice football here. I mean, I'm not sure what that was. I don't know what's going on there. Angelo's shot. Awful save. But yeah, Fenerbahce pretty much safe. But for us, it's all to play for. But they'll still want to get this job done. Here is Cups, him and Cresswell. It's not been the best season for them. But as we've said, we want this partnership to keep developing. I like it for the future. Here is Nunes. Over to Daniel. Had an offer for him from Fulham. I thought, don't even disrespect me, Fulham. Angelo's ball forward to Vidigal. Questions of offside. VAR will have a look. I think it is going to be offside. So I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to get excited. I know it's off. Yeah. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. We're the better team. We're on top. We're going to need a goal to make sure we sort of really cement this. I mean, let's see. How offside was he? I mean, Jesus Christ. Why are we looking at VAR for that? That's outrageous. Anyway, we're on top. Got to make this count, though. Free kick here. James Maddison over the ball. Come on. Good delivery. It is a good delivery. It's off the post. Off the... Oh, my God. It's off the post. It's off the line. Ball just does not want to go in. Nunes. Angelo moves to the live. Ball in. Cleared from Fenerbahce. Oh, God, are we going to regret these chances? Are we going to regret these chances? Skriniar goes back to his goalkeeper. It's a very strange game, this one, I have to say. Daniel, great challenge. They were in there. Nunes to Angelo. Come on, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Kerem gets it back. Ball over the top. End your series offside, though, so no panic there. No panic there. Just put the flag up. Just put the flag up. You know, just get on with it and put the flag up. Because the 2 goals that have gone in, unbelievably clearly offside. But I have to say, it's a cool feature from Football Manager to add VAR in. But it's not needed in instances like this. I mean, he's already offside. You know, there's a bit of a delay. Anyway, got to make sure that we try and get in front here. I'm feeling nervous. We're going to throw the kitchen sink. We've gone very attacking. It's a good point, don't get me wrong. But we ultimately could do with the win, and we're on top here. 5 minutes added on. Stay with me here, and there is a chance. There is a chance, but for who? Have I gone and overcommitted? Maybe not. Here's Angelo. Zagerman. Ball back to Angelo's not great. Maybe this is why we're trying to loan him out. Angelo dribbles past perfectly. Dratty Cunha picks it back up. Come on, find a man. Find a man. Or shoot yourself. Find Nunes. Come on. And that is it. And I don't think they can rule that one out. That one won't get ruled out, surely. Come on, man. There's not been many good times this season to talk about. There's not been many moments to celebrate. This is one of them. Cunha does really well. Nunes can't miss from there. Was never going to miss from there. We'll switch to very defensive. Massive moment for Gillingham's season. Huge moment for Gillingham's season. That should be it. And it is. What a win that is from the lads. I mean, a dominating performance. But if ultimately, this has been our problem. We're unable to score. So many chances. Got the job done. Let's have a look at this live table. Okay, or not. Let's look at the qualifying rounds because, you know, that's a good place to be. Right, okay. Doesn't want to do it. Another glitch to add to the list. We'll check it in a sec. Would you look at that? A lot more healthy of a position to be in into that final game. Don't get me wrong, okay? So Anderlecht, so many teams on 7 points. We still can't lose. But the good thing is now, a -1 goal difference. It's all right. But, I mean, sorry, a +1 goal difference, which is fantastic, actually. I was going to say, a +1 goal difference is great. Because even if we draw, those teams on 7... it just means they're not going to be able to catch us, which is superb. So, as long as we draw and don't lose, we are through. Shakhtar, where are they? They're below us, so they've got everything to play for. So that game is going to be absolutely huge now. But what a win that was. What a win that was. Now looking at this here, we've got the Brentford game. I'll do that off camera and we'll come back for this huge game against Shakhtar Donetsk. Yes, lads, welcome back. As you can see, we lost the game 2-0. I just can't. I mean, look at this. They were way better than us. They deserve to win. Fair enough. Fair play to them. And when you know, I just can't understand. We don't draw any games. We barely draw. We either lose or win. And we either lose like 2-0 or 4-0. Like, genuinely, the inconsistency of this team needs to be studied. And maybe I should study it. Maybe I should study it. Currently sat in 13th position in the Premier League. That is where we will leave it for this episode in terms of the Premier League. As I said, we're mid-table inconsistency, and I'm fine with that. It is what it is. However, Europa League phase, we've got Shakhtar Donetsk here. We know what's on the line. We've got to make sure we get at least a draw, but a win would be ideal. Let's get in to the final game of the episode. Here we go then. Europa League phase, got to get the job done, having to tweak the team here and there due to fitness issues, but ultimately, this is Europe for you, isn't it? Those Thursday games are absolutely killer. In the first season, and it was always going to be tough. But we put ourselves in a position to qualify. It didn't look like this was possible a few weeks ago. So I'm buzzing we've got to where we've got to. No messing around. We know the job. Up the Gills. Decent start early on here. Never know whether this is just the first highlight. Esquivel into the box. Finds Cunha. And that is a fantastic start for us. Dratty Cunha. 25 seconds in, was massive in winning against Fenerbahce, and he's huge here. I never know if this is that like initial highlight. I never know, so I'm like, do I commentate? Do I not? I thought, Esquivel on the ball, I'll give it a chance, and then it slips into Cunha, off the post and in. A bit of a crap goal, let's be honest, but hey, we take them. Great start, currently advancing through to the next round of the Europa League. Corner to be taken by Angelo here, 23 minutes in. Decent delivery. Max Kilman hasn't featured too much for us this season. Features here, and it's a very good header. Great delivery. Great delivery from Angelo. And our set piece coach is finally doing the business. Great ball in. Max Kilman, never in doubt. 2-0, and that is us absolutely sealed in the next round. We've actually just won the ball straight from their kickoff from our goal. Here's Angelo driving forward. Oof, good tackle there. Angelo gets it back though. Loses out. It's a throw-in. Now remember, this was a highlight straight from kickoff. And I feel as though these always come with something. Archie Gray into Nunes. Gray at right back today. Nunes in Vergara. Cunha on his right foot. 3-0, 25 minutes into the game. Exactly what we needed to do. Exactly. Great goal as well. And obviously, you know, goal difference, everything involved. I'm not sure how it actually works with points in our situation upwards, but you want to get as high as possible to try and get the best draw possible in the playoffs. So the lads are doing exactly that. 25 minutes in. Job done. Vergara, Marlon. Unlucky, can't quite squeeze it through. Shakhtar on the counter then, coming at us again. Here's Ferreira, Pedrinho. Ball in to Dudayev. I actually think this will get given as a disallowed goal. Look to be offside. Shakhtar, in all fairness, credit to them. We knew they were going to be coming at us quite hard. What? What? Right. Okay. Get the lines out. Get the lines out. Something's off here. Look. Oh, no. In all fairness, it's tight, but he's played on. He is played on. Now, okay. Hold on a second then. Hold on a second, because we've made changes, but, I mean, it's pretty safe. I think they'd have to beat us 4-3. It's pretty safe. Vergara coming forward here. Last minute of the game. Zegerman over the bar. Needed that for him, to be fair. 30 seconds remain. That is game over. Job done. Did exactly what we needed to do. Could not be happier. And ultimately, that leaves us in 11th place. Though, see, the goal difference, it did matter. 11th place in the Europa League. Considering where we were, that is a sensational turnaround. Right, lads, that is the end of the transfer window. One signing that did leave us was this man here, Datro Fofana. £5 million future fee. Gone on loan to Leeds. Just didn't use him. I like his stats. I really thought he could have been one of those players that I never thought would really do great for us. Then all of a sudden, it's just amazing. Didn't quite work. Fair play to him. He's gone to Leeds. And then in terms of players coming in, there's actually nothing from us in this transfer window. However, do you remember I said about this man here, Max Lyons? Well, we have pulled the trigger. £15 million, a lot of it in installments and sort of clauses, etc. But the 19-year-old, 6'1", will be joining us next season. And I'm very, very excited. Sometimes the scouts can tell you this, the scouts can tell you that. It doesn't matter. We saw this man perform well against us, and I thought, why not? Pull the trigger, get the deal done. So that is one for next season that we decided to do in the January transfer window, because there was a lot of interest for him. So very happy that we did manage to get it there. We will monitor him at Portsmouth, of course. 16 goal contributions in 30 games. Very solid start to him for professional football. Now, in terms of where we are with things then. So, we had a 1-1 draw against Arsenal. I've just said we never draw. We never draw. Well, we managed to get the draw done in this one here. And in all fairness, yeah, Arsenal the better team, but we went in and we got what we needed to do. But Batrikov, I need to say this guy's name correctly, Batrikov with the assist for Vidigal, who scored the goal. So, let's have a look at what lies next for us then. It is a very big episode. We have got Fulham in the FA Cup, massive game. And then we have, oh no, they've signed this man. They've signed this man. Played for Burnley before this, scored twice against us. So, he's cup tied, thank God, but there you go. And we've also got FC Midtjylland in the Europa League sort of playoff rounds. Okay. Let's see. I mean, who could we have had? There's a few easier games in there, but it could have been a lot worse. So Midtjylland will be who we're up against. They've got some decent players. We know that. They're very good in terms of bringing players through. So, yeah. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but that is that. So overall then, it's been a decent episode. We've recovered well, a lot more green circles than when we had at this point here. 3 losses in a row, hadn't won in 4. So yeah, we're getting there. The tactical change has worked and I'm very happy with it. And we've got a massive episode coming up next. So if you are enjoying the content, please do hit that like button. It means the world to me. Also, please subscribe. We're very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm looking to try and hit it as soon as possible, but the set is all done. We are fully back in the grind mode now, so very much looking forward to bringing you all sorts of content. We've got more Football Manager. We've got more real world football as well. I'm going to be ranking all 92 clubs on club size. Yeah, that one always ruffles some feathers. So Birmingham, any Birmingham fans that watch me, I appreciate you. Please don't unwatch me, but just know you're bottom of the list, lads. You're bottom of the list. So, lads, as I say, please do hit the like button. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.